How's it going, everybody? My name is Doe. Hope you're having a great day. In this video, I'll be talking about the new trials with Shrike. But I want to get one thing out there first. Trials are not my cup of tea, especially not this week's trials. I did not enjoy them that much because they just didn't feel very polished or very enjoyable to me at all. But with that being said, I'm going to try not to be negative. If the things I say are being said, I'm going to try and be as constructive as possible. So just going to put that out there. Now, for the trials, the modifiers, which are a big part of the trials, in some cases they are the trial. In this week's trial, you have the two normal ones. So these will be on the normal version of trials and the Dauntless version. You got Styxian Sacrifice. Styxian Predator Fauna will hunt lone and injured slayers, but will keep their distance from behemoths. Sounds cool, right? It doesn't actually work that way at the moment. They need a bit more tuning because the Styxians can actually attack you even though you're right next to the behemoth, and they're not supposed to. Doesn't feel very good. It can happen. Be aware of that. If you want to avoid this or try to, a really good option is going to be chain blades, because on chain blades you can do an attack that's called swinging blades, and this is where you swing your blades in a circular motion. It's got some pretty good range. That will keep the Styxians away from you to a good extent. So if you want a way to try and counteract that, chain blades are a good option. Chain blades are very nice on this fight for a lot of other reasons as well. So the next modifier is going to be called Momentum. Unstable attacks increase behemoth damage if they're not interrupted. Interrupting unstable attacks reduces increased damage. So for this modifier, in normal it can be a big deal, especially if you just never interrupt it, because it'll get to the point of one-shotting you. In Dauntless mode, I think if you don't interrupt it one time, it'll begin to one-shot you. So it has some weight to it, but depending on what mode you're in, it'll have more weight to it. Now, the next modifiers are for the Dauntless mode. You got Nearsight. Slayer's vision will become shrouded by a cloud of umbral aether. Okay, this is the part where I wish that Trials had more tailored modifiers, but that's not the design of Trials. Trials are meant to be a mode where they just take modifiers from other behemoths and slap them onto different ones, as far as I know. In a perfect world, that they would tailor these modifiers to the behemoth and make it feel more, make it feel like there's more counterplay. Because with Nearsight, there doesn't feel like much counterplay. You just have to listen to stuff. Sometimes the hearing can bug out. A lot of weird things can happen. With Nearsight on Shrike can go into the distance, into like the other realm, if you will, and do a number of things. It can either fly back at you, that's the best case scenario, or it can throw some shurikens from deep. You get clapped, not a great time. Or it can also toss a tornado. And it can even do a tornado and then shurikens. And you don't really know what's happening. You can listen to it, but you also gotta deal with Styxians. There's a lot of stuff going on. So Nearsight would be cooler for Shrike if Shrike had glowing eyes, glowing wings, something to show you what's happening to an extent, just a little bit. Like the wings would be so cool because you would know if it's gonna toss a shuriken at you or fly at you. You know what I'm talking about? Like all that kind of stuff. You would know what's happening. Just make the wingtips glow, because they already glow normally. You know what I'm saying? Just big brain. Now the next modifier, going past that, is going to be Frigid Touch. Behemoth physical attacks apply chilled to slayers, and I believe this attack slows you down, makes you move slower, makes you attack slower. It's not that big a deal. It's a little cute modifier. I think it's just there to be there. But those are the modifiers. They're cool. I enjoy them, and I would enjoy them more, especially like the Styxians and Nearsight, if they just worked a bit differently. If they were tailored just a little bit to the behemoth, I would really like these modifiers. In their current state, I'm just not the biggest fan. But moving past the builds, I've actually got my or moving past the mods, I got my builds pulled up. I had 4 builds that I was messing around with. One build's a group build, which is kind of weird, but it actually helped me out in a trial. So this is for groups. If you're playing in like a 4-man, this is the build I used, and I kind of recommend. It's not the most amazing thing in the world, but it's got damage, it's got everything you really need to be useful to your teammates. You've got the Riftstalker Hammer, the Hellion Headpiece, Dratch Chest Piece, Hellion Gloves, Gnasher Feet, and the Immerman Lantern. For the Hammer, we've got Landbreaker and Extended Clip. So if you have more than one hammer on your team and your teammates are buffing you with Landbreaker, you can instead bring the Concussive Salvo. This will help you interrupt behemoths very, very easily. You just tap it, you can jump tap it, you can stand still, hold it, get a very, very easy boot lined up, all that kind of stuff. If you want to, you can try that out, or you can just use this and double right click. If you want a video for booping with the hammer, I've got one made. Check it out if you want to. But this build, the perks, you got Aetheric Attunement +6, Molten, Overpower, Rage Hunter, and then for the +3s, you have Medic, Predator, Tough, and Wild Frenzy. So the Medic, it's there to be a medic. Like in trials, especially on Dauntless mode, your teammates are going to die. You will probably die. Sometimes you won't, but in a lot of cases, you're gonna die because you just can't help it sometimes, especially if you're playing low life builds, which a lot of folks do. So this helps you revive just a little bit faster, like 20% makes a big deal. And in this case, I don't really need to have conduit because I'm hoping that my teammates will, because most of the time they do. And there's really no point in having more than one person have conduit, because if you're rocking a good build, you can always have lantern uptime. And then for the tough, I bring the tough because I want more max health to help myself not die as often if I get hit, and to also give myself some more extra healing in case I do get hit. So it's got some pretty good uses to it. And it's on the feet, so it's not really a big investment. I could bring Careback feet and have some conditioning, but I don't really want conditioning on the hammer. I don't really care too much. Don't really need it. But overall, this build has some good damage, and it keeps changing my dang freaking potions. It's upsetting. But I think these are the potions I used, and Bulwark Tonic is phenomenal to use if you have a hard time staying alive. Bulwark Tonic is the thing to use. If you have a hard time living in trials or anything, Bulwark Tonics are nuts. You get 3, I think, if you don't have the mastery for it. Once you get mastery up to a certain level, you get 4. 45% damage reduction for the next 3 hits. It's a godsend. It's really, really nice. Now, whenever I used it, I didn't get hit, but that's besides the point. It's a really good thing to have, really good potion to bring, and it helps folks stay alive in instances where they would otherwise just die. It reduces damage you take by almost half. Super good. But if you want a solo hammer build, here is pretty much a similar thing, just taking away all the team things I got going on and like the survival stuff. This is just raw damage. So this is the build I was testing. We've got Aetheric Attunement, Conduit, Overpower, Predator, and Rage all at +6. With Discipline +3 and Wild Frenzy +3. So it's a low life build that has a ton of damage. And again, my potions are not saving. What the F? Okay. I need to save, man. These are the potions I normally use. We've got Assault, Frenzy, Blitz. These are the potions I use if I'm going for a good time. And if I'm using a low life build, you always want to bring Blitz just for the extra attack speed. It's very, very nice. Pretty insane. You get 11 stacks, which I'm not sure how to be... 11 times 2, like 22. Like no, I'm not gonna try to math. I think you get 21% attack speed if you're using Discipline and you don't get hit, because you get more stacks the less health you have. So that is my guess. I'm hoping I'm right. And if you want another build using Hellion chain blades because they're the best chain blades, you can also use whatever Hellion weapon you want to. You can just change it. Warpike maybe if you want, sword if you want to, up to you. But this is also another low life build. I'm not going to go into super detail on this, which I'll move with the cam. If you want a screenshot, you can. I'll probably leave the builds in the description. But this is another DPS build, which, if it doesn't save my stuff, I swear I will get upset. What the? Hello? What's happening? I think you have to keep like the same potion in the same slot to make that not happen. We'll see. But this is just damage build. I like it a lot. And the last build is one that doesn't have low life. So some of y'all don't like low life. This one doesn't have it. It does have Predator, but if you wanted to, you could change out 1 Pred cell for Berserker and only have +3 Pred and +6 Berserker. Up to you. You do what you want to do. These are the builds, and this hopefully helps some of y'all with some aspect of the game. That's the point of making this. And hopefully the gameplay helps you too. Like seeing what I do to make things easier on myself, and just giving you all the builds, just all that kind of stuff. Hopefully it helps. I'm really hoping. And by the way, if you want to interrupt Shrike, the easiest ways I found are with hammer, chain blades, and with sword. Everything else that I can think of doesn't feel very great, especially Warpike and Axe. Warpike and Axe, I don't really, oof. They get scary, man. Because you don't know what Shrike's gonna do. With Chainblade, sword, and the hammer, you can react. You can be reactive. Like, and that's a really, really big thing. With Warpike and Axe, it's really hard to be super reactive because it takes time to cast their abilities. A pretty long time in some cases. So, yeah. But hopefully you guys liked the video. Hopefully it helped. If it did, be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and maybe share the video because doing so helps out the channel a ton. And if you like these kind of videos and you want to see more of them, you can subscribe to this channel for more Dauntless content. That's what I do here. That's the main focus. And lastly, if you want to support my work and what I do, you can use my Epic Games Support Card code in the Epic Games Store or in the in-game Dauntless Store, making purchases. All those things help out a ton. And if you want my in-game flair, you can subscribe to my Twitch channel with a tier 1 sub, Twitch Prime sub, get gifted a sub. Doesn't matter. Any of those things work. But right now, tier 1 subs are half off. So get on it if you want to. Also, right now, there is a thing. If you guys do not have Twitch Prime, you can get the Desperado bundle set by watching a Twitch streamer. I think it doesn't matter what Twitch streamer, but like if they have a certain thing active, they can have this thing where other folks can gift these Prime bundles. You get 3 if you're a Twitch Prime sub. I don't know. I'll leave an article to that in the description. It's kind of weird. It's cool though. I just don't understand it that well. Anyway, guys, that's the video. Hopefully you liked it. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.